Hi everyone, this is your girl Dr. GiGi. Royalty is black, where dynasties are born. And it's Friday, it's freaking fabulous Friday. Let's say it's Fantastic Fantasy Friday. So, I love science fiction, I love fantasy books, movies, etc. So let's just say, for fantasy today, something to be a fantasy is when something cannot possibly be real or is unusual for us in our world of norms. So I like fantasy because that means you can explore, whatever it is in your mind that you want. So think about your greatest fantasy, something that you would think, if I could make life like I wanted it, if I could have everything just fall into place like I desire, what would that be? What would that look like? What would make you happy? What will make me happy? So what will bring pleasure to other people? Because sometimes the greatest pleasure we get for ourselves is when we do so much for others. That's, to me, is really what life is all about. But anyway, it's freaking fabulous Fantasy Friday, and the sun is out nice and bright, so I decided to come out the house today. I got bit by something, bit me, and it was paining me my arm all week, and I don't know what it was, but it really did interfere with my productivity, and it was quite painful. But it didn't travel anywhere, it just pulled up a piece of my inner arm, but it was quite painful. So kind of got me off my exercise schedule, but today I gotta go out because tomorrow, I'm telling you right now, I think the first time in my history, the Freakness from 1973 to the year 2021. This is how long it is taking me to finally go to the freaking Preakness. And this year it'll be totally different. I love it because they're gonna have seats for everybody. Instead of before, if you were in the middle, you had to stand. I can't do that with my disability. So looking forward to it. So overnight I gotta figure out how I'm gonna bet, because it's been a long time since I've been to the racetrack. But my mother used to take me. She'd go, maybe Aunt Iva, her younger sister and I would go and go to the racetrack down in Berlin, Maryland every blue moon. But it was to give me that experience, and I loved it. So tomorrow I'm going to Preakness. My nails look a mess. I got some papers I sent over 3 days ago, working on my case, trying to finish up Kendra's birthday present. We're finishing up this one case. I have two of my own. I have 2 legal cases that I'm working with, and that's not including my husband's situation that I'm helping him with. So it keeps me just tied up mentally, and I can't wait till all this is behind me so I can focus more on my creative talents and bring more to the world that I think will be more beneficial. Hopefully help somebody and move in a new direction, or see something in a new light, or pick up an old dream, pick up an old fantasy, and go with it. What you gotta lose? Ooh, the sun's coming out now. So anyway, fabulous, fantastic Fantasy Friday. Whatever's in your mind, whatever vision you have for yourself, go on and live it. Who's to tell you not to? Now, so many of us have. We all know of someone that has been affected by the pandemic. Lives lost. One of the first lives lost on the Easter show I learned from one of my best friends from elementary school was someone in her family, and the very first one in my home county. And to hear that, it was just stunning, because it made it really, really real at that time, because that was at the very, very beginning. But to know that someone that you care so much about was suffering from the very beginning of this pandemic, it really made an impact. I had predicted back in January 2020, start talking about this pandemic. I came back home in February, Kendra always likes to, my daughter Kendra always liked to be out of town for her birthday. Of course, this was different this year. We didn't want to take any health risks. But we were in Maui. Finally got to Hawaii. I'm a travel buff. And that's when the pandemic started to build up. I remember watching news, and I remember our president talking about, don't worry about it, we only got like 13 cases or something. We got this under control. I remember that. But at the same time, I remember being in Maui, and Brandy, my daughter's BFF, however they say that, came in and said something about Bill Gates. That Bill Gates had predicted there were going to be millions of deaths. Now, I figure that Bill Gates is a billionaire, made his money from the tech industry. He has the best people working for him to work out all kinds of algorithms to make these kinds of predictions. And when he said that, I knew then that this was serious, even more serious than what I'd even anticipated. And it came to pass. Didn't have to, but it did. And I think, we've all learned and benefited from this pandemic. And at first it did make us closer, and we were willing to do a lot of things. I guess when you're sick and in the hospital, you don't care what the race and color is of someone who's trying to save your life. So we did make some progress. I mean, 2020 was quite a year. And once again, I'm with Dave Chappelle. Thank you, young people, for getting out there and bringing the truth to light. Across all races, all denominations, because black folk, religion separates us just as much as anything else. If you're not, you only Baptist support the Baptist, Methodist support the Methodist, Pentecostal.